Hey, everybody, and welcome to The Next Come Up, where we tell you who and what's next on TV, in film, and entertainment news. I am your host, Stephen Strickland, and I am elated to be joined by my guest today. Her film has been accepted into the 24th Annual American Black Film Festival. She is the writer, the director, the producer, and starer, yes, it's a word, I just made it up, starer, the lead actress of the wonderful film, Asunder, One Flesh Divided. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Next Come Up show, Miss Alana Barrett-Adkins.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you for having me.
No problem. It's our pleasure. Congratulations on your film being accepted into ABFF. I know this is an honor.
I'm so honored and humbled to be among such amazing filmmakers and artists. This is beyond amazing.
Awesome. Is this your first time having a film in ABFF?
It is. This is actually my first feature film. This is my first feature film that I've made and created.
All right. Well, come on now. Come on, somebody. First film, and you're in ABFF.
Yeah. Wow. I can't even put words to it. I'm just so excited. I'm excited. I'm glad to be able to put this film out there. Glad to be able to put the message of the film out there, talking about love and what it means to love other people and love your partner, your spouse. You know, I'm really excited.
All right, cool. I'm excited for you. That leads me into my first question, which would be, well, not question, but, tell us about the film.
So the film takes place in Harlem. And actually, we shot it in Harlem as well. It's about two married couple, Black married couple. They're newly married, so 5 years married. Brandon and Ruth is their name. They are successful attorneys, so they actually just made partner in their firms. And they start to notice that there's a lot of strain in their marriage. And what eventually starts to happen is Ruth develops a relationship with a coworker who actually is her subordinate. And we discover later on that there are a lot of secrets going on in their marriage, and their short marriage, that start to be revealed once Ruth confesses that she's been having an entanglement with her coworker.
Not August Alsina, right? Not August.
Not
Okay. Woo.
But if we use in light words, we'll just say she has an entanglement. Right. So, but yeah, then you have that. You have their dynamic. Then you also have the family dynamic on top of that. This is a Black family. So, you don't just marry that person. You marry their family. Sickness, illness, things like that are coming into play. You also have addiction that comes into play, infertility. All of that is layered on top of this. So it's suspense, it's drama, it's humor. But along the ride, you as the audience, you get to experience that, and you get to ask yourself, do I love, and what does that really mean? What does love really look like?
Well, I mean, I love the film. You talked about, the cast and the family, I should say. I know two members of the cast. I know I worked with Philip, who plays your father-in-law.
Yeah, Phil Rich.
And Christian King, who played Tommy, a.k.a. Jabari, Jaheed
El Farouk.
Oh, that's my guy right there.
Yes,
Harlem Stand Up. But so what was your inspiration, for the film?
Actually, this film started, to be honest, it started with the prayer. So I consider myself, I'm a person of faith. I'd say I'm a follower of Christ, and I just have real conversations with God, like straight up. Everybody speaks to God differently. But one day I was waking up early. I woke up early, and I just looked to my right, and I was like, God, I'm single, and this, I don't know if this is a good look for me. I'm kind of tired of this. So here's what I think we should do. I think you should give me a 90-day free trial on a husband, and then if it doesn't work out, I will keep the box. Like they do on Amazon. I'll keep the box, put them back in the box, I'll ship them back. And it started as a joke. It started as a joke, but then I really started to see God showing me like images and things that married couples go through, from obviously having to share space with somebody for the first time, living with somebody, that adjustment, to infidelity and that temptation to be unfaithful, addiction, people getting sick, not just your partner, but as you'll see in the film, people in your family getting sick.
Right.
And all of those things coming on top of each other. Like I mentioned before, the family, that dynamic too. How does that work out? So from there, I branched out into asking people who were married and in relationships, and even people who got divorced, about their experiences. And Asunder was born.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. So tell us about the casting process. How was that for you?
Well, a lot of the cast were friends of mine. So, you know, as actors, we do that, you know, like, hey, I got this thing. Can you just come roll through? I'll send you the script and you just do a solid for a friend. And then I would do the same thing for them. So I got a few people that I did that way because we didn't have a budget. And then the lead actors and a few other actors I hired. So, for example, the two lead men, Justin Crowley and Nifa Jabbar, or Nifa Thomas, as he's credited in the film, they were hired through Backstage.com. We auditioned them, and I love them. They blew me away. And working with them on set was the same. It was so great working with them. Not only were they gifted and amazing actors, but just I was so comfortable around them too. So as you'll see in the film, we have to do like a lot of intimate stuff too. So it was just good to be comfortable with your scene partners, and they were amazing. And Phil I also hired. Phil Richards I hired because I didn't know Phil, and yeah, a few other people that I hired through Backstage. And it was great. I was blown away. As soon as they sent their auditions, I was like, yes, thank you. Please send your information to me.
God bless you. Yes. Come on.
Sign this. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah.
So now that you've been accepted into ABFF and your film will be screened at the festival, what are your expectations of the film festival itself? Like, is this your first time ever being, well, I can't say there because it's not in Miami, but being a part of the festival? Is this your first time? And if so, or if not, what are you expecting from the festival?
Well, I definitely love how the festival has really curated a lot of press for the newer filmmakers and has been so supportive. We got an opportunity to meet Jeff and Nicole Friday on Tuesday, which was amazing. It's so great and just so supportive. And you know, we need this in our industry. There's not a lot of agency when it comes to Black filmmakers, and not a lot of space for us to be creative, and not only be creative, but to be recognized for our work. And so I'm so grateful that ABFF has made it a point to highlight, to making us network with one another, shouting out our films, liking our pages, doing everything that they possibly can to make sure that we not only feel welcome, because there's a huge celebrity lineup with this festival, which is amazing and can be intimidating. So I'm grateful that Nicole and Jeff made that space for us. But as far as from the festival, we're on the festival circuit. We're looking for distribution right now. We're actually in talks for a distribution deal right now. So that's one of the big things that we're working on it.
Well, I'll be praying for you.
Thank you.
Definitely be praying for you. What, we know as filmmakers, there are things where they say whatever can go wrong will go wrong. Were there any obstacles during the making of this film? And if so, how did you fix them and or get around them or over them?
Again, I'll say this and I'll say it again. This film was a miracle. We didn't have a budget for this. We crowd fundraised for the film. We got some, and I got two friends of mine who I knew had some money, and I gave them an associate producer credit. They gave a little more, and then the rest came out of pocket from me. This is literally a labor of love. Yeah, a lot of things went wrong. A lot of scenes we had to cut because we couldn't shoot them. Things went wrong on set quite often. I was carrying and wearing a lot of hats. But in the beginning of this whole process, like I said, it started with prayer. I said, look, God, this is your film. I need you to take full control over this. So when things looked like they were going crazy, and it looked like there was a situation where that family dinner scene almost didn't get shot, and that was crazy. but God worked it out, and we were able to get equipment and everything that we needed, and we shot it. So this was one of the hardest things I ever had to do.
Wow.
Ever had to do. And then you talking about the director is involved in all three stages of production: pre-production, production, and post.
Yeah.
So it was rough, but we made it through. We made it.
Awesome. Won't he do it?
Come on now, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make me shout up in here.
Oh man. Hey, I won't stop you. I won't stop you. So as actors, as we are directors, producers, writers, all the hats that we wear, we tend to have a wish list of people we want to work with. Who is on, give me your top 5 people on your wish list that you would love to work with in the present and in the future?
As an actor or as a director? Or both?
Both. Two actors. Give me 2 from an actor standpoint. Give me 2 from a director standpoint. And the 5th one is up to you.
Okay. So I definitely want to work with Viola Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to work with, I love to work with Ava DuVernay.
Mm-hmm.
In some way, shape, or form. Oh my goodness. For some reason, I've always considered Journey Smollett's career. Like, I have admired her so much. So I would love to work with somebody like Journey Smollett. I'd love to pick and sit down with Issa Rae and just pick her brain.
Definitely.
I also love Mahershala Ali's work. I'd love to work with him as a director. I'm in the process of writing a series right now, and I would love for him to play the lead. I have an EP on board, and then right now we're pitching to networks. I would love to work with Mahershala Ali. Shoot.
That's why I don't 5, but you can do one more.
And I'd also like to pick Spike Lee's brain, because I went to NYU and I never saw Spike. And I want to know, first of all, were you all anywhere near NYU and I just didn't see you? Or, yeah, I just love to pick his brain and like how he fuses social justice and his heart and his vision into the frame in such a way is incredible. I think his work is incredible. So I'd love to pick the brain of Spike Lee and or work with him at some point.
All right. And then someday soon, someone will want to work with you and pick your brain for the work that you're doing and the processes that, that you're going through as a filmmaker, as a creative. What would your words of wisdom or advice be to upcoming filmmakers that are already in the business and seasoned? What words of advice or encouragement or wisdom would you give to us?
I would say, for sure, if you're starting out, if you're not sure where to begin, just start. Don't be afraid. You have to start. And if you don't start, you'll always find a reason for something to not be ready. There were so many things. At the time we started making this film, I had just gotten fired from my other job. I didn't have a place to work. But it was like, I thought of the words from Friday, Smokey's wisdom. Remember Smokey said, hey man, it's Friday. You ain't got no job and you ain't got nothing to do. So I felt the same way. I'm like, I don't have no job and we already started this campaign. So why not finish it?
Right.
So that would be my words of wisdom to those who are starting. And then to those who already have some work and stuff like that. One of the biggest things that I was very afraid of was the reception of the film. I didn't know how people receive it, but I knew it was my own truth, and I needed to write this, and I wanted to show people this work without shame or without being like, oh, what are they gonna think? So don't worry about what's going on over there. Write truthfully. It's like what Toni Morrison said when she was asked about if she thinks what white people are gonna think about her work. Well, she did say it. She doesn't write for the white gaze. She writes from a true and authentic place based on her own experiences. And so it's the same thing for you. Don't write thinking about the critical gaze. Write from that true place, make your films, make your work from that true place, and submit it. The worst they could do is say no.
Okay. And when you say gaze, you mean GAZE?
No, yeah,
okay.
gaze,
Right.
not
Yes.
gaze.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, just want
Like,
to make sure. We see it. We're
I don't
gazing upon you. We're gazing upon
yes,
you.
gays, like eyes, not
Yeah.
gay people.
Okay.
Eyes.
Cool.
Oh my God. Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Just wanted to
That's
clear that
the
up.
last thing I mean.
Yep. You don't
I
want
don't
to do
feel
that.
kind of pressed.
You do not want to do that. ABFF, we all know that it usually takes place, live in person in Miami. How do you feel about it taking on a virtual experience?
Oh, I'm excited about it. Obviously, I think it's great. I'm sad because I'm from Miami originally, and my family's in Miami. So I was making plans. I'm about to go see my grandma and everybody. But I think this is an opportunity. That's the thing about me, Stephen, is that I try to see everything as an opportunity. Look at the opportunity we have now, because ABFF usually brings what, 10,000 people to Miami Beach every year, but now millions of people can see this work. Millions of people can be a part of this festival. We're networking now and having Q&A with potentially thousands of people, millions of people. So it's greater exposure. It's greater opportunities, I think, for ABFF too, as well as the filmmakers to expand and to make connections. So good. I think it's great.
Awesome. Well, I want to again say congratulations on your success thus far with your film. I wish you much success in the present and in the future. And yeah, just keep doing your thing. All right.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. It's our pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Next Come Up show. We thank you for tuning in. I want to thank my guest, Alana Barrett-Adkins, for coming on the show and talking about her wonderful film, Asunder, One Flesh Divided, and looking forward to that at ABFF. We appreciate you tuning in, and I am Stephen Strickland, your host. And as always, do what you love and love what you do.